Skol Nation, this one's got the horns echoing in worry. The Minnesota Vikings defense, that unbreakable purple wall, just took a hit that no one saw coming. It's the kind of news that ripples through the locker room and straight to the heart of every fan donning the Norseman helmet. Whispers of desperation in the secondary have been growing louder all season, and now, with a crucial matchup against the Ravens looming, the pressure is on like never before. The front office is scrambling, making moves to shore up the backfield before it's too late. But what does this mean for the season's wild ride? If you're part of this crew, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and join the conversation. This community runs on real fans like you. Now, the name that's shaking the Vikings universe, Jeff Okudah, the former first-round phenom brought in with sky-high hopes to lock down the perimeter, has been sidelined. Placed on injured reserve after his second concussion protocol stint this year, Okudah's out for at least 4 games. It's a gut punch for a secondary already under siege, forcing the brass to pivot fast. They didn't waste time elevating veteran Fabian Moreau from the practice squad to the active roster, just in time for Sunday's clash in Baltimore. Moreau steps up as the number 3 corner, fresh off a solid showing against the Lions last week. In limited action, he blanked his only target, earning a respectable 73.4 grade from the scouts. It's not the splashy fix everyone dreams of, but in the trenches of NFL survival, it's a start. Okudah's season has been a rough ride, no sugarcoating it. Ranked dead last among cornerbacks by Pro Football Focus with a dismal 32.4 defensive grade, he's been a liability more often than not. The big plays against him, explosive gains of 20 yards or more in 4 of his 6 games, have haunted the Vikings' coverage schemes. Yet there's a silver lining in his tape. The guy's a tackler. An 83.2 grade there, 5th best at his position, and he's limited yards after catch to just 27 all year. It's pick your poison for defensive coordinator Brian Flores, deep bombs or underneath nibbles. With Okudah down, the choice leans toward the latter, as Moreau's profile shows he's stickier in the short game but vulnerable to those quick slants and crosses. But hold on, Skol faithful, because the Vikings aren't stopping at Moreau. Word is they're hosting a Sant Samuel Jr. for a visit, and it's got the rumor mill churning. The former Chargers star, a second-round steal in 2021, was ESPN's number 14 free agent before a scary spinal fusion surgery sidelined him. 6 picks and 26 pass breakups in his career mark him as a ball hawk supreme. Cleared for activities this week, but let's be real, this is no casual sit-down. It's a full medical deep dive with team docs weighing the risks of that neck and spine issue. As Tom Pelissero laid it out, it's serious stuff, the kind that doesn't just heal with time. 32 teams, 32 risk appetites, but for the Vikings desperate to fortify their secondary, Samuel represents that high-reward gamble. No contract talks yet, it's all tests and evaluations. If he checks out, he could be the spark that reignites this defense. Imagine those interceptions raining down at US Bank Stadium, the crowd roaring as the horns blare. The secondary's woes aren't new, but Okudah's injury amplifies them. Minnesota's bet on the ex-Lions cornerback was meant to pay dividends, injecting physicality and upside into a unit needing stability. Instead, it's frustration mounting, fans pacing the sidelines of their living rooms wondering if the purple rain can hold. Moreau's integration is key. His 24 snaps last week were a tease, showing poise without the panic. He allowed 7 catches on 10 targets this year for 67 yards and a pair of scores, averaging 9.6 per reception, not elite but serviceable. Compared to Okudah's 15.9 yards per catch and those big play nightmares, Moreau might just be the steadier hand Flores needs to mix up coverages. As the Ravens prepare to test this patch-up backfield, the emotional toll weighs heavy. Skol Nation feels it, that tension in the air, the hope flickering amid the storm. The Vikings' visit with Samuel adds intrigue, a potential lifeline if the medicals align. For now, it's about resilience, about the crew rallying around the absences. The horns will echo louder come game day, urging the defense to rise. This secondary story is far from over, it's just entering its most dramatic chapter. Diving deeper into the Okudah saga, it's a tale of untapped potential crashing against harsh reality. Drafted 3rd overall in 2020, the Ohio State product arrived with pedigrees. Lockdown corners don't grow on trees. Traded to Minnesota from Detroit in a fresh start bid, he was supposed to be the missing piece. But injuries and inconsistencies have dogged him, culminating in this concussion double whammy. Missing 4+ games means the Vikings' depth is stretched thin, especially with the schedule unforgiving. Brian Flores, the mastermind behind Miami's aggressive schemes, now schemes around gaps, leaning on zone looks to mask the vulnerabilities. It's a high-wire act, balancing aggression with caution in a league where one miscue explodes for 6. Enter Fabian Moreau, the unsung hero from the practice squad grind. A 7th-rounder out of UCLA, he's bounced around Washington, Houston, now Minnesota, embodying that veteran savvy. Last week's performance wasn't flashy, but it was effective. No completions allowed, a grade that screams reliability. In a secondary plagued by big plays, Moreau's underneath discipline could be the antidote. Sure, he's surrendered those short gains and even a couple TDs, but his coverage doesn't unravel like Okudah sometimes did. Yards after catch, minimal threat there. For Flores, it's about scheming matchups, using Morrow's slot versatility to disrupt rhythm offenses like Baltimore's. If he clicks, it buys time for the big swing with Samuel. Speaking of Asante Samuel Jr., let's unpack the hype and the hurdles. Son of the Hall of Famer, he carved his niche as a turnover machine in LA, picking off Lamar Jackson twice in one game back in 21. That spinal fusion, though, it's the elephant in the exam room. Pelicero's intel paints a grim picture, surgery that docs weren't even sure would fully restore him. Neck and spine issues aren't trifles, they're a career enders if mishandled. The Vikings visit is one of 6, all medical focused, no charm offensive from coaches. It's raw risk assessment. Can this 25-year-old dynamo return to form, or is he a shadow of that premier playmaker? Cleared to work out, yes, but game shape, that's the million-dollar question. For Minnesota, signing him could be transformative, injecting speed and instincts into a unit ranking low in coverage grades. But it's no sure thing. The Purple faithful hold their breath, knowing the reward could redefine the secondary's arc. Zooming out, this CB carousel underscores the Vikings' broader defensive identity under Flores. Aggressive, disruptive, but fragile without elite talent at corner. Okudah's physical gifts, that tackling prowess, were meant to complement the pass rush, turning potential disasters into stops. Without him, it's Morrow's turn to prove he's more than a band-aid. His 38th ranking among corners isn't Pro Bowl stuff, but in context, it's a step up from Okudah's basement dwell. The Ravens' game will be the litmus test, Lamar's legs and arm testing the resolve. If Morrow holds the line, confidence builds. If not, the desperation deepens, pushing the Samuel pursuit harder. Emotionally, Skol Nation is a powder keg. The second concussion for Okudah hits hard, health first always, but the timing stings. Fans recall the promise, the trade buzz now dashed. Yet there's that Viking spirit, resilient, horn-blaring defiance. The front office's quick moves signal commitment, not capitulation. Morrow's elevation, the Samuel eval, it's proactive, fueling hope amid the hurt. As Sunday dawns, the US Bank faithful will chant louder, willing the secondary to stand tall. This isn't just roster tinkering, it's the heartbeat of a season hanging in the balance. In the end, the Vikings' cornerback conundrum is a microcosm of NFL grit. Losses like Okudah's test the depth, the scheme, the soul. But with Morrow stepping up and Samuel in the wings, there's a path forward. Skol Nation, keep the faith, the horns echo for warriors who rise. This defense, battered but unbroken, charges into the fray. The story unfolds one snap at a time, with the Purple pride leading the way.